Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to the Cobra Command Central toy reviews. Today we'll be looking at the 25th Anniversary G.I. Joe action figure review, focusing on the 3 Storm Shadows that I currently have right now, not counting the Storm Shadows for the Rise of Cobra line. Now, in the middle we have the Storm Shadow from the 5-pack that came along with the classic hooded Cobra Commander, Baroness, Zartan, and the Chrome Face Viper, which you can check out the Viper and the Chrome Face Viper in my channel for the review itself. This version of Storm Shadow, look like a samurai here, is the Resolute version that came along with Tunnel Rat. And this half-naked Storm Shadow here came along with the comic pack Firefly, which you can check out the review for the Firefly reviews in my channel as well. Here, we take a look at the file cards. Each of the file card has a different artwork. Their background is majority the same except for this one. This one is a bit different on the bottom line, and each of the quotes are all different. We'll start with the original one. One of the meanings for the word ninja is said to be a person who conceals his presence. You do well to ponder that meaning and never assume you understand my true intentions. Half-naked Storm Shadow. Revenge is a snake turning back on itself, entrapping everyone, victim and perpetrator inside his venomous coils. Samurai version. The G.I. Joe team can put up a good fight, but there's no way they will ever win any confrontation with me. There you have it for their quotes. Now, let's take a look at the figures. This is the Storm Shadow that came from the 5-pack. Unlike the single-carded version, the only difference with this Storm Shadow is, you notice there's a problem with this figure. But first, the original Storm Shadow figure, this leggings here is not grey. The original figure itself is actually the same color as his pants. Each of the figure comes with a base stand with a Cobra logo in the middle. Nice Cobra logo in the middle, and a peg to hold the figure. Now you will notice the leg already. The biggest problem with this figure is it's very loose on the hip joint here, on the right hip joint. As you can see on the other side, it's very sturdy. Quality control problem here. Now Storm Shadow here comes with a bow, and like his Ninja Viper counterpart, because the body is basically share the same thing except for the arms and the head. The sash here holds the knife, which can be pulled out, as you can see, and put it back in. One problem though, the dagger, the paint job for the dagger also smudges the white paint job of Storm Shadow, so I don't pull out the dagger as often. Comes with a harness that holds his 2 swords, the wakizashi and the katana, and his arrow box with the arrows. As you can see, another problem here is this sword doesn't sheath all the way into the sword sheath. See? And the handles are so loose, so just like the Ninja Viper, they would be a bit loose when they put it into the hand, but it's still okay because they're still able to hold it. Articulation wise is quite simple. You can turn the head 360 degrees, but you can't pivot the head up and down. There's not much of a difference. You can turn the body 360 degrees and push it back and forth. You can turn the arm 360 degrees, but problem is, like the Ninja Viper, is a V-shaped torso, so the moment you twist it all the way up, it is doing this happy cheer pose, or is doing the YMCA. If you do not know what YMCA is, Google or YouTube for the village people. Now, the elbow joint you can bend a bit at the back and bend in the front, like so. 360 degrees turn for the wrist, and the elbow can turn as well. You can bend the legs, double joint the knee, and very nice ankle articulation where you can fold it all the way down, as you can see. and upwards as well, a little bit on upwards, and you can turn 360 degrees as well. I really like this Storm Shadow because he's the classic Storm Shadow, but ever since the Resolute pack came out, I prefer this guy instead. Samurai-ish Storm Shadow comes with a battle axe, another mask, which you can remove this mask and replace it with the other one. Okay. However, I prefer this one. Comes with a dual-bladed guandao. Now, for all that who don't recognize the weapon or how it called or what it's like, this is not a Japanese weapon. This is a Chinese weapon. Okay, why would Storm Shadow will be using this weapon is beyond me. Now, this Storm Shadow is my favorite. As you can see, the articulation for the head is great. Can look upwards, turn 360 degrees, can turn the body 360 degrees, but a little bit hindered because of the chest piece here. You can remove the chest piece by popping off the head and try to struggle your patience trying to remove it. Arms can turn 360 degrees. You can spread it, but you can spread the arms, but it's hindered by this shoulder piece here. And if you try to do it more often, it tends to, spread, spread apart. So I don't want to do that more often than I want to do it now. You can bend the elbows, but can't bend backwards. Wrist articulation of 360 degrees. Bend the legs. Now the thigh joint is a bit much more larger than the rest of the figures, as you can see. But there's no problems with bending the legs with double jointed knee, and no problem with pivoting the ankles all the way down, but you can pivot a little bit upwards because it's hindered by the shin guard. Now this is my favorite Storm Shadow among all the figures that I have, not counting the Rise of Cobra, of course. Half naked Storm Shadow came with a dual Karma with a string, like the Ninja Viper, the green Ninja Viper. Oh yes, the green Ninja Viper, yes, and the red ninjas as well. Oh wait, the red ninjas don't actually come up with that. Yep, Ninja Vipers. Now this version of Storm Shadow is a recycled body parts. This one comes from the Cobra Trooper's leg. I can recognize it easily. It's to store the dagger. Now the only thing that is really nice about this Storm Shadow is because the forehead actually shows the Cobra logo insignia there. Other than that, the entire figure itself is just a mismatch of recycled parts from all over the place. The backpack here that store the swords is basically the same as the Cobra Ninja Viper, which I also neglected to inform everyone during the Cobra Ninja Viper review, is that you can actually detach this part. I didn't know about that. But the funny thing is, look at this horrible paint job here. They didn't even bother to paint it. They bothered to paint this, but they just don't bother to paint that. So basically the backpack is the same, shows all the details inside. You got the cat's claw, the rope, the grappling hook, and what's so on, and the duck swords. You can see the hat and handle of the sword itself looks like ducks. Got the claw here, a removable S&M bondage suit we have here. Articulation wise is just about the same, so there's nothing to talk about this articulation. Can pivot the head up and down nicely though, but other than that, it's not impressive. So if I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I'll give that guy a 2 out of 10. A nicely classic Storm Shadow, 7 out of 10. I would love this guy for 8 out of 10. So this is the end of the review. Thanks for watching. This is Lucy05 signing off.